edits are going well on Xander Lorde. Brent's chipping in. I'm sure he's busy. I'm glad he offered. Morgan's going through one of those depressive periods. So, he helps when he can. I feel bad for him, he's in Canada, he's having issues with his family and his housing situation, finances, similar to me. And I've come to realize that Orson Scott Card's quote about how writers create themselves as they create their work, that they create their work to create themselves. It's true. And I've just never given myself a chance to do it. And Xander Lorde and this other story I'm working on is really helping me discover myself. Helping me start to slowly strip away those insecurities. And it's given me confidence that when I have that allow me to dictate time, and I'm going to rewrite who I am, which is my autobiography from scratch. Because I realized my friend was right. I need to write it from scratch, and that it needs, that the path I was taking it, where I was narrating it, where I was narrating stuff, it just wasn't working. So I'm going to start from scratch, tell it as if it was a fiction from an omniscient perspective, you could say, or third person, whatever, And I'll start with my earliest memories and just move forward. Maybe I'll get 2 books out of it. I don't know. But mostly, I realize it would mostly be best to make it entertaining. Like Morgan suggested, he's like, don't make it too personal. Make it, just switch gears and make it entertaining. And I realize he's right. I want it, to take people on a ride, of my ups and downs, because, it's an autobiography. Why not ad lib, stretch things a little here and there, And aside from that, I've had other ideas for story, and I've completely put comic writing on the back seat, if not in the trunk, because how do I put it? It might be I just haven't found my comfort with it, and so it's been hard for me to find that comfort level, with, I work good with collaborators, but, advice from people I trust, they're like, point out some places I've given too much, put too much on the writer, and not doing enough, giving them too much control over how the story should be and everything, and that I'm too nice to tell them that the artwork isn't, neat, that I don't like how this shot's framed or that shot's framed, or, or the word balloons and stuff, and that in comics you gotta tell them, if you don't like some. The problem is I like everything because I just, enjoy the comics as a whole. So, and whenever I've gotten work from artists, I'm just enjoying it, and I don't even think about the marketing value. And that's one thing you gotta think about comics is the marketing value, because since I like all kinds of different stuff. Heck, I even appreciate Robert Liefeld. I mean, yeah, I like his art. I think for big budget action style comics, that's his best suit. And that's what he does best. And hell, I have Neil Adams art. He's doing those Itzy's things where drawings, you give him $20. Well, the cheapest ones. I got a drawing from him, Bruce Lee, and I'm a big Neil Adams fan. Marshall Rogers, the Marshall Rogers Steve Englehart run, to me, is like in the top 3 Batman runs. It may not have. I don't think it was that long, but no, it wasn't that long, because I believe Englehart said he did a sabbatical from comics and didn't come back until like the mid '80s. And it's in that sequel, Dark Detective 2, was just awesome. I think the second best run in the book is Denny O'Neil and the artists he worked with. The Joker's 5-Way of Revenge, that was fucking awesome. Excuse my language. And the third best run, I think Chuck Dixon. Yep, Chuck Dixon's long tenure on the book. I think, he really hit so many home runs with that series. I remember when he did Contagion, and it seemed like Tim Drake Robin was dead. I actually thought he was dead, and then I found out later that Batman saved him. I don't know how he did it, but he's just incredible how he built up Tim Drake and made him so different from Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, and then he did all that work and fleshing out Batman and stuff, and explain why Batman started wearing the armored suits. Because of his experience with Bane, he realized he had to change his methodology and stuff. He was basically taking the Bronze Age and the Modern Age elements and bleeding them into each other. So fans could say, yeah, I understand why he's now wearing Kevlar in the upper part of his suit and those joint things, so that to protect his joints. That way he can fight crime longer. That's all his suit is nowadays. It's just so he so he doesn't get any crippling injuries that he can't recover from. It's also why he has that crash pan on his cowl. Because if he got a bad head injury and stuff, he wouldn't be able to be Batman anymore. And that was all thanks to Chuck Dixon. He's the one who made that choice. He's the one who said, okay, Batman's been wearing this cloth stuff and whatnot, and now, after what happened with Bane and stuff, he now sees that he's got to adapt as the new faces of crime are using more lethal methods, more dangerous methods, and that just being exceptionally skilled will slowly lose its edge to these criminals, and that he had to up his preparedness. Hell, it was Chuck Dixon's Batman that Grant Morrison used in JLA, and turned him into uber bat prep god, but Dixon's Batman, he was still Batman with the flaws and stuff. And Dixon wrote a lot of great Batman stories. Contagion. He was a part of Nightfall, Knight's Quest. He was like one of the head orchestrators of that. He created Bane, and that's why Batman. That I feel that was one of the best damn stories that was told at the time. Was someone who was not only as smart as Batman, but he had an edge that Batman didn't. He could get strong enough through that steroidal chemical that he could be on a superhuman level. He could be like as strong as Captain America, or maybe a little stronger than Captain America, maybe Luke Cage level, classic Luke Cage level. And that's what made him so deadly to Batman. And that's, all gravy. I don't know why they deviated from it. It seems like later incarnations they play down Bane's intelligence and just like, oh, we're gonna have him be as big as a house and stuff, and it's like, well, he was already stronger than Batman, through his grueling life in that prison, I mean, he wasn't just reading books, he was doing a lot of exercises to, bulk up and stuff, I mean, yeah, the Venom made him a lot in the superhuman category, but he was already, up there, I think, and with Bane being as smart as he is, I can't see why Bane wouldn't have found somebody who could have, made it where, who could chemically engineer the Venom more to where he'd have less of the bad side effects and got more of the increase in strength and endurance, strength, endurance, and durability. I mean, it's not rocket science. I'm sure a guy with Bane's smarts could find somebody to make the Venom, where it doesn't cause him to end up like in the Batman Beyond world, because he's not somebody he's gonna give up on destroying the Bat. He's obsessed with Batman. He sees Batman as that devil that he saw in that prison. The further you deviate from that, the further Bane becomes useless. So hopefully someone go along and say, we need to tilt Bane back this way. We don't need another muscle-bound freak. We need a freak who's not only can be on a superhumanly strong scale, but is as smart as Batman, who challenges Batman on both levels. Otherwise, Bane becomes just another underused villain. But I think it ran about that enough. Other than that, I've just been watching Japanese wrestling. Watching some top stars over there. Some great wrestlers too. And my brother got me a belated birthday gift, Captain America Winter Soldier, and I saw that. It was really good. My brother had no interest in seeing it. And I don't blame him, I mean, the stories Marvel was doing, he's just disgusted with all the stories that are coming out, Me, I have some of my favorites, but I just don't keep up with Marvel as much anymore. I haven't really kept up with DC, but that's more not for lack of trying. It's just got other expenses and whatnot to take care of. But Thanks for listening in, and ciao.